a superhero film. Well, it's a comic book film that is getting critically panned right now, and that is 2019's Hellboy.
Oh boy.
Yeah, good. Hellboy is oh boy right now.
Oh boy.
So
So
yeah,
okay. So before we start, like, okay, so I guess like I've read like some Hellboy comics, but ages ago. I'm not really a big fan. But like I liked the movies that were made.
the Ron Perlman, Guillermo del Toro
Yeah,
ones. Yeah,
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 yeah. The ones that it's like Hellboy and Hellboy 2, The Golden
the Golden
Compass,
Army.
whatever. Golden
By the way,
Compass.
the Golden Army is like the only film where I watched, and as soon as I
Yeah,
finished watching it, I watched it straight away again because it was just
the
such
only film.
the only
Wow,
film I've watched it like as in like straight away, like after the end credits just
wow.
happened. I'm watching that
Yeah.
directly again because it was such a
Okay.
good ride. It was such a good adventure that I just like I wanted to experience it again. It's like it had the creativity hallmarks of someone like Totoro and the cool style that he has.
Mm.
And that's why like I'm really sad that he didn't get to make a third one because there was a whole thing like about like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, where he's like, I'm gonna try to ship my like Hellboy 3 to the studio if they want to make it or not. And people were like, yeah, we want to make it, and then the studio's like, yeah, nah, we don't want to do it. And then there was a big slap in the face 6 months later where they're just like, yeah, we're gonna reboot Hellboy. And so it wasn't the idea of Hellboy that was the idea. The problem was they didn't want a Hellboy with Totoro and Perlman at the front. Possibly because Hellboy didn't make like it wasn't a critical darling. It never made that much money. It was very much like a very certain niche people like these movies, and
Well,
yeah,
yeah. Well, I was gonna say like I think people really liked the first Hellboy, but the second Hellboy I think kind of maybe missed the mark. I remember liking it, but I never like followed like the news behind it. I think that's also the reason why, because I think it was supposed to be a trilogy,
yes.
and there
There's a
was
lot of
supposed to be a
foreshadowing
third
in
one.
the second film, and like even at the
Yeah.
the start of Hellboy, like if you ever read the comics, it basically is the Hellboy is devil incarnate, and he's supposed to bring I guess
Hell on
death,
Earth.
yeah, the hell on earth, and he's supposed to awaken that. And
Yeah,
obviously he's very much like grown attached to
a good
humans.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a good guy. He's grown attached to humans, and he wants to like help him out and try not to be evil. And there's a lot of foreshadowing in the second one, and I wish there was a third one. So then we got this, which is kind of it. Basically, is that storyline, and it's not really a reboot, sort of like it is, but it isn't. So it's the same. Like you can cut off like about maybe 30% of this film and put the
mm,
original cast of the original Hellboy stuff, and everything would work fine. Because
okay.
the base of this story is the I think I forgot her name, but basically Mila Jovovich's character,
Yeah,
the
okay,
Nimue or the Blood Queen. She's
okay.
basically the keeper of like demons and stuff like that. So she controls all the demons. She's like the demon queen. And she's like, oh, Hellboy's very interesting because he's the devil, and like he's supposed to be my king, and I'm the queen. Let's get together. And like, why do you help humans? Yada yada yada, because they always treat you bad. Then you'll never be like them. And it's basically the whole like, oh, who are you gonna fight for? So it's the same type of plot because like Hellboy does get his signature blade. He does get his signature sword that's on fire and things like that. You do see that in
Yeah, the
in this
devil
film.
horns.
Yes. So you do see that
Yeah,
in
I
the
feel
film.
like that was a big mistake as well, showing that in the trailer,
Mm,
because that's supposed to be like like when he gets the full horns, that's like when shit goes down with Hellboy, right?
yeah.
I kind of feel like it's kind of like a mistake to show that, because it's like, I don't know, that's like him going Super Saiyan.
Yeah. I
Um,
think it's because it's good imagery. Like
yeah,
I think the
yeah,
studio knew that like they saw this film, they're like, oh crap, this probably isn't as good as we thought it was gonna be. So we're gonna throw like every possible thing at this, and if you see the advertisements to it, it's pretty like the posters or even like PR stuff where they're just like, we have the most goriest scene of all time in our film, like, and it's just like they're
is it
trying.
gory? I don't even remember that being.
The movies aren't, but this one puts it into the whole thing where it's like, yeah, this is like R-rated, this is like not kid friendly, and yeah, like in the first like 5 seconds you hear Ian McShane say fuck, basically, because why not? So like like there's a lot of things to kind of dissect in here, but like the guy who plays Hellboy, the good old David Harbour, who's Detective Hopper in Stranger Things. He does a pretty good job. Like I'll give it to him that. Like there's some parts where I thought he was actually Ron Perlman because they have the exact same gruffy voice. Where I'm
Look, right? Yeah, they also have the same kind of look. I
Yeah.
kind of feel.
Yeah, it's like,
I think he was very. I think he was well casted for the film, but maybe the film itself was bad. Like the direction was bad. Maybe. Would
yeah,
you
pretty
agree with
like
that?
that's the thing. He had good performance where I'm like, that's basically like Ron Perlman. So it's like, okay, I can give it to him. Ian McShane does a really good Professor Broom, who's like basically Hellboy's dad. I think his name's John Hurt, the guy who played his dad, passed away a few years ago. So, but basically they do the same character pretty much fine. A father-dad relationship. Ian McShane's basically playing, Wednesday from American Gods, where he talks in limericks almost. So I'll let you know, it's the same character. Everyone else seems to be doing an okay job in the film. I think the main thing that there's a few things that this film doesn't do so well. I think obviously. The first thing is obviously the look of Hellboy. I don't know, the prosthetics are very weird. I don't like them. I think I like the Ron Perlman look of it. The prosthetics in this Hellboy, I don't know, it looks off or something weird. Like yeah.
Would you say it's because it seems more, like there's more basis of like CGI as opposed to maybe the usage of like practical, some kind of practical prosthetics? Do you think that might be the reason why?
Possibly. I'm not quite sure on that one, but because I actually made the meme and I got quite a few likes on it, like on a page where they were talking about the Hellboy reviews, and I had posted the photos of like, if anyone remembers the Jim Carrey movie The Mask, and you know how there's a guy,
sure do.
Yeah, there's an evil guy and he wears the mask and he turns evil. That's basically what his prosthetic looks like in the movie, and it looks like it's very very much the same. So I'm like, okay, this is not good. But yeah, so there's that, and I think the main one is the story is not structured that well. So it's like until you get 40 minutes in, and then you finally get some really good plot points, details. Like it slowly slithers around. It plays on with a few other concepts and ideas that are okay, but I doubt we'll see anything moving forward from that. And the action is very bad.
Okay.
I'm one of those people that is like one of those action purists, and it very much is like it's shot in a way where you can tell that this person does not have experience with action. So it's very much like we're going to see a shot for half a second, and then we're going to cut to like someone's reaction for half a second, then we're going to cut to this for half a second. So it very much is dizzy. I think if it's one of those things where if you ever seen Taken 3, you know my problem, because Taken 3 was like cut, and it was really bad. However, this movie has one good action scene in it, and I feel like all the time and effort was put into this one thing. It's shot, and it seems to be a trend these days to be it's shot as a faux one shot, so it's like it's fake obviously, but it's shot in a sense where it tracks Hellboy character around
doing shit, fucking people up, and it looks cool.
Yes, it's actually he kills giants, so there's 3 of them, and I think that is probably the most creative thing that this film has to offer. So like at some point, 6 months down the line, when like someone puts the scene on YouTube or whatever, it's like Hellboy fights giants. That's probably the only good thing out of this film.
Yeah, that's what we should be looking out for. Got it.
Yeah, pretty much, because like it's very creative, because like he's battling giants who are really tall, so he has to do all these unique ways of killing them and things like that. So like
he basically has to Kratos them, jump around and
pretty much
do some cool shit.
Yeah, oh man,
that's pretty cool.
One day they'll do a Game of Thrones. God of War movie. I remember they talked about it like a while ago.
Yeah,
but obviously it's
it'd be pretty cool to see it. At least they can do something like some kind of live action miniseries about it. But